My name's Eric Jonston, and this is my audition piece for Vancouver Film School's Acting for Film and Television.
So in the end, was it worth it? Jesus Christ. How irreparably changed my life has become. It's always the last day of summer and I'm stuck outside in the cold with no door to get back in. Couldn't you? I've had more than my share of poignant moments. They say life passes most people by while they're busy making grand plans for it. Throughout my life, I've left pieces of my heart here and there, and now there's almost not enough to stay alive. But I force a smile, because I know that my ambition far exceeded my talent. There are no more white horses or pretty ladies at my door.
Why don't you say something now? Clickety, clickety, click. Call me Pop, say something.
It ain't gonna be like this. Hank's waiting.
Your brother ain't waiting. He's dead. Full of police bullets. Dead.
You're lying. I don't believe it. You're lying.
And you did it to him. And now it's your turn.
Go ahead. Get it over with.
You don't like waiting. I've waited for days. Hours.
Get it over with. You ain't got it in you.
I've got it in me.
Then go ahead.
You're right.
You ain't got it in you.
You're right. I don't have it in me. Just get out of my house. Get out of my house! We've reached the talent portion of this audition video. Now, I've got quite a bit. I danced competitively for 7 years. Tap, jazz, ballet, music theater. From there, with music theater, I took singing lessons for 3 years. I trained as a tenor, and then as I got older and my voice got deeper, I started training as a bass. I snowboard, skateboard, play drums, acoustic guitar. I write stand-up comedy, I perform stand-up comedy. All these things were just to make myself a better actor, a better performer, and I hope to bring all of these talents to Vancouver. Reached the question period of this audition video. Did I choose my audition pieces? Well, the first piece is from a movie called Blow, which is actually a movie about drugs, but to me it meant a lot more. The monologues from an ending scene, which is actually a voiceover. The camera's drawing back and he's reflecting on his life, and it's very dramatic. And a lot of people are ready to turn off the movie at that point, but for me, it was probably when I paid the most attention. It meant a lot to him, and it meant a lot to me, and I just wanted to turn that into a monologue and see what I could do with it. From a play called The Desperate Hours with Joseph Hayes. Why I chose that? In my whole career of doing theater, that play actually spoke to me the most. I played a family man named Daniel, and my father's name is Daniel, and he's a family man. So I think it was really an homage to my father. So that last scene was so powerful for me, I couldn't pass it up. How long have I wanted to act? I know the generic answer is my whole life, but for me that's actually true. My dad was a professional wrestler in the WCW, WWF, traveling across the world, and from an early age, for as long as I can remember, 3, 4 years old, I was watching him act, because we all know wrestling's fake, and the power he had over an audience was just astounding to me. So I knew from a young age that this is what I wanted to do. I mean, like I said, from a young age, seeing my father out there acting all the time in front of thousands of people was definitely inspiring. People like Canadian actors, people like Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, they had that whole class clown mentality, which I brought to my schooling, to my, elementary school, high school, which got me in trouble sometimes, but I think it helped make me who I am today. Strengths and weaknesses actually happen to be the same thing. I believe as a major strength for me is the ability to improvise. Growing up on the stage, things can go wrong. People can forget lines. You know, so I've had a glass fall out of my hand and break on stage. You got to improvise for things like that. I think I walked off stage and grabbed a broom and swept it up well in character, well on stage. So I think that's a major strength, to improvise. As for weakness, I think it's not necessarily a weakness, but I think sometimes it hinders me as an actor because I'm so used to improvising that sometimes I'll go off script, and some directors love it, some directors hate it. So it's become a strength and a weakness for me. There's a common saying, it's those who can't do, teach. Well, I think it's true for me. I mean, being a teacher would not necessarily be a fallback for me. I mean, I've wanted to be an actor my whole life, but I've had some truly inspiring teachers. And not just going to school, or not going you know, to teach math or science. I think teaching acting or teaching English and dramatic arts is something that I would want to do. Because I think every teacher every day is out there and is performing every day. They get the chance to stand up on their stage, which happens to maybe be a desk or a podium or anything like that, and speak to, you know, tens to hundreds of kids and inspire them and change their lives. So I think if I were not an actor, I would be a teacher.